Hello, awesome people. I hope you're having a great day today. Today, we're taking a look at the next short story in the Run the Dead collection that was published about 3 or 4 years ago. It collects all of Edith Nesbit's horror short stories, and it's edited by S.T. Josie, a famous horror editor who's done a lot of things like H.P. Lovecraft and other horror writers that are out there. This is more than 100 years ago. It's only 4 pages long. And this, it didn't even take me 10 minutes for me to read it last night. It was much shorter, actually. It's more like flash fiction. It was pretty quick. It has the same themes as the previous short stories do, Young Love, although in this case, it's an older man, the Uncle Abraham, who's been unmarried, who's telling the younger uncle about his young love and what wound up happening to, and how even though it happened, he still loves her. He is born disabled, so the women make fun of him rather than become his sort of key figures in a romance. And so when he comes across a girl who has an interest in him, he turns around and begins to follow pursuit. And that's about 1 page and 2 into the 4-page short story. So I'll leave it there because it's a spoiler-free review, but howdy do for you folks. Link you to the From the Dead collection on Amazon.com. I'll also try to find you the collection for free since it's before the copyright dates. So hopefully I'll be able to find it for you for free. Edith Nesbit is somebody who is beloved and has published more than 60 novels during her era, over decades of her life, mostly children's novels, many of which were fantasy. We read one, actually, for you folks a few months ago. Knocked it out here for this channel. I thought I might be doing a deep dive into it while I enjoyed it, and I'm glad I read it. It just didn't sell me as a key thing. So I found this collection of her horror stuff, and so we're doing it. Deep dive into it. I reviewed a short story for you called John Charrington's Wedding, which is also the first short story in this collection for you folks, from a collection of 100 ghost stories a couple of years ago for you folks. I also just recently did a couple of short stories into separate collections of her in the horror genre too. And then I went back and reread a collection I got when I was in junior high with 5 short stories, and one of which I'd already reviewed for you by the Horla. By Guy de Maupassant, but I went back and reread the other 4, one of which was Man Size in Marble by Edith Nesbit, who is my favorite, which is my favorite short story from her so far. And this is not at that same place. It's hard to have a flash fiction review that's really, sort of in depth out of 10. So I'm going to be giving it probably like a 7. It's well written. It's not great. It's not the best thing. It's fast. It's hard to get into it because of how fast it is, right? So it was harder for me to get into it than it was probably for me to get into some of the other things out there that I read. And so that was probably more to its detriment. But it doesn't take that much of your time for you to read, and it's definitely fun. And I think you'll probably enjoy it too. So there you are. That is Uncle Abraham's romance. Now, again, remember, my name is Abraham. I go by Abe, my middle name. So that's cool. I saw this and I was like, oh, I'm looking forward to that because it's got the same name as me. It's cool. Anyway, so there you are. I'll go ahead and leave you to it. Have you read this short story by Edith Nesbit? If so, what did you think about it? Let's talk about it in the comments below, whatever your thoughts are. Or if you want to talk about the spoilers, like the second half of it, the last 2 pages. 2.5 pages. Hey, let's talk about it in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, why not hit that subscribe button? There's going to be a lot more of these to follow. And then finally, I want to thank you so much for taking some time out of your day and investing it and watching my video. We all have so many things that are happening in our lives, and we're pulled in so many different directions. So the fact that you spent this time with me is incredibly humbling, and I appreciate it. So thanks again, and have an amazing day.